seated. Mr. Bowie, you're a foreperson. Yeah.
Yes.
Bowie, you have a verdict.
Yes.
So I'm going to review it just to make sure everything's been checked off appropriately. After, if it's all in order, the clerk will ask you each one if this is your verdict, and then we'll take it from there, okay? Okay, all right, Ms. Link. The state of Florida versus Daisy Link, case number F2211523. Verdict, we the jury in Miami-Dade County, Florida, find the defendant, Daisy Link, as to count 1, second-degree murder, guilty of second-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder, you must answer each of the following questions. Number 1, did the defendant actually possess a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. Number 2, did the defendant discharge a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. 3, did the defendant discharge a firearm causing death during the commission of the crime? Yes. So say we all, the 16th day of October 2025, signed by the foreperson. All right, Marilise, we're going to poll the jury.
The jury, you have the judge read the verdict. As I call your name, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Keenan Bowie.
Yes.
Ramona Espinosa. Jacqueline Smith.
Yes.
Tiara Campbell.
Yes.
Esther Montoro.
Yes.
Lawrence Vega.
Yes.
Judge, the jury succeeded.
Okay. I just have one more thing I have to read to you all. Let me just pull it up real quick. It's one paragraph.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, as you just heard, Daisy Link was found guilty of second-degree murder. So just real quick, if you missed the closings yesterday, I did those live. I did not recap them. Basically, the state was kind of making up things as they went along, just making up narrative to fit a story that they believed was happening that really wasn't. It was very weird. Just fill in details, and the defense attorney would jump up and say, "No, that there's no evidence. There's no facts and evidence." Like, for example, he said that when she approached his body in the alley, to remove his things and stuff, he was begging her to call 911. There's no evidence that he was ever begging her to do anything. I don't think he was coherent after he went unconscious in the alley. So never mind begging somebody for them to call 911. And then it was a lot of focus on Daisy as being a liar. She, how can you trust anything that she said on the witness stand when she just lies time after time after time? Even her mother got exasperated with her, when she kept facing this attacker who she was clearly not scared of. And the mom was like, "Yeah, I've had it. I've offered to call the police. You don't want me to call the police. You just." So her mom leaves. And then the prosecutor made it sound like, she knew he was a monster. She said, "I'm scared of him. He's a monster," when he's been, drinking and doing drugs. Yet she gets in her car and she goes over that day and picks him up from his friend's house where she knows he's doing drugs because she watched him buy 6 bags of cocaine. Now, oh, happy day, we're going to take him home and where he's going to turn into a monster. she was supposed to take him to his mother's house where she says he was living. Instead, she brings him home for a barbecue. The barbecue's already happened. He missed the barbecue. Then on 3 different occasions that evening, he tries to attack her, choke her twice in front of the mother, and then once not in front of the mother. And here's the most, because I was leaning towards manslaughter, but here's the thing that the prosecutor pointed out, and that kind of got me. Like, if I was one of the jurors going, because they could have found manslaughter. If they didn't find the 2nd-degree murder, they could have then gone to manslaughter. But they got 2nd-degree murder. They convinced those people back there that it was 2nd-degree murder. Here's what would have convinced me and did convince me. The gunshot didn't hit the ground. She made it sound like as she's pulling up the weapon, it fired. She fired it into the ground. It didn't hit the ground and ricochet off the ground and hit the guy's heel. It didn't go under his heel. It went through the back of that heel, the back of the heel, out the front of the heel, into the thigh. If he had been at a different portion of that step, the heel wouldn't have been there, and it would have just been in the back of his thigh. She was aiming at him, and she got him. Which is why I think it just threw her for such a loop when she finds him after the shooting. She finds him lying in there in the alley, and she is befuddled because she doesn't realize that it's the same wound she's looking at. She sees bleeding on the foot. She sees bleeding on the thigh of the other leg. She's like, how in the world did you get a gunshot on your leg? I thought I hit the heel. He's very confused, as was everybody else, until the medical examiner testified about how this happened. So I think it makes complete sense that he's running away and she shoots him from the back. She didn't hit his back, she hit his thigh. But she wasn't shooting at the ground. So I think at every opportunity from the minute her mother left that house, maybe even well before that, she's been lying to everybody, to her boyfriend, her husband. There's no such thing as common law in Florida, so it's not her husband, but they're saying, husband of 9 years, lying to him, lying to mom, lying to the police officers after it happened. I started to say a normal person, because what is normal, right? But I would venture to say that the average person would say, no, the man was trying to break in. I would have gotten on the phone. Hello, 911. Yes, I just saw someone. They were trying to break into my house. Then your defense, my dear, would have been way more believable. Way more believable. But you didn't do that. You got in your car and you went out and looked for this man that you were scared of. And the other thing that prosecution was very critical of her for, and that everybody saw it on the video, her mocking him, saying, you'll be fine. You want me to call the hospital? She openly mocking this man after she shoots him, belittling him and mocking him. So, and of course, the defense got up and tried to argue that this was, trying to teach the jury what is a burglary. Because they got to convince this jury that he was running towards the front door of this house. He was going to get inside that house, barricade himself in, talk about making up stories, barricade himself in there with the kids. Now we have kidnapping, and not allow her access to her property. The jury didn't buy it. They only were out for deliberation for an hour and a half. I'd say, yeah, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours total. 1:30 till a little after 3. Yeah. And then they came back and that was the verdict. Yes. And her reaction, they I showed you most of her reaction, but then later after the jury is dismissed, they in Florida, everybody reads the same speech, every judge. It's an honor and a privilege to be a juror, blah blah. And you are, you've earned yourself some special privileges. You do not have to talk to the media, but you can if you want to. Anyway, so the camera comes back to her and she is quietly crying. See, when I cry, I don't cry. I can't even say it. I don't cry quietly. I am an ugly crier. I would have been blubbing, snot running out of my nose. She was very quietly, just wiping away tears, just quietly. I'm sure that mourning the loss of now not just 2 children, but 3. Yeah. The one she created while she was in jail. And guys, if you want to know how she did that and you don't know already, watch this video. And I'll see you guys for the next trial. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care.